Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the SA Super League here, the Salisbury Bowling Club preliminary final time. I know what you're probably thinking, geez, how on earth are we supposed to back up after that qualifying final? But you know what? Strap yourselves in, folks, because we're in for another ripping contest here. Central Chargers taking on the Mallee Pirates. As we said earlier, the Pirates just so close to sneaking their way through to the grand final late in that qualifier, but fell at the final hurdle in extra ends. So now they face the incredibly tough task of this stupidly talented Chargers lineup. So it's going to be a cracker of a contest as we see a fantastic start there for Rachel Krebex for the Mallee Pirates. So we are doing the pairs for this prelim final, folks. Rachel Krebex and John Nicolai for the Mallee Pirates, taking on Nathan Patterson and Wayne Rudiger for the Central Chargers. So players that we have streamed before so far this season. John, new to the stream, but of course we did Nathan and Wayne earlier in the year, and Rachel playing with Josh Thompson in round 3. So 3 out of the 4, no strangers to the big lights and the pressure of the live stream rink as we watch Rachel's second bowl here. It's going to be a little bit tight, but again, weight not terrible, so pretty good start. Isaac, mate, welcome back to the commentary box. You had a little quick little pressure-filled few moments there, just clarifying the rules as any good administrator does. But it went the way of extra ends, and yeah, a little bit of a historic moment for the SA Super League.
Yeah, absolutely, Joe. Very nervous. I think there was a lot of nervous people, including myself, just making sure that I was reading the rules right, conditions of play right.
I don't know who was more nervous, you or Dave Dipple, measuring that 18th end in the triples match, just clarifying who had the shot bowl. There's a lot of pressure, but handled to perfection as we see Rachel Krebex here. We will run you through the other matchups for this prelim final. The singles was Josh Thompson for the Mallee Pirates taking on Craig Mills for the Central Chargers. And in the triples, we saw them just before, Jose Gill, Cameron Hill and Alan Hurst for the Pirates taking on Mark Haynes, Stuart Forbes and Brenton Bain. So we see Nathan Patterson coming out with a great third bowl. They're a little bit heavy on his first 2, but good correction. So 3 really closely fought ranks overall. What are your thoughts on how this one goes, Isaac?
I don't think you can go past the Chargers, to be honest, Joe. Overall, they are without a doubt the strongest team. And we see behind us, Hainsey just put down 2 horns.
He's happy with that one, of course. A big thank you to him for jumping on the last couple of minutes of that stream just before with those extra ends. It was great to have his insight. And I think either way, they were very happy, the Central Chargers. It's going to be really interesting to see how the Mallee Pirates get back up emotionally after what was a roller coaster of a sort of 20 to 25 minutes. Obviously, they came from nowhere and 8 on the final end of the power play of the pairs, got them back to within 1 shot. They were holding 1 shot in the triples. Jose Gill had the opportunity twice and missed by tiny margins to win it. And then it ended up in the extra ends where the Comets were able to take, I think they took all 3 in the end, so shows the class that they're able to bounce back under pressure. So we settle in here. John Nicolai, the lefty, a very good bowler in his own right. Of course, coming up against the Jackaroo and Wayne Rudiger, so it's going to be a good test for him to see how he steps up to the occasion. Wayne Rudiger, no real stranger to the spotlight, whether it's through the Jackaroos or the BPL or just any sort of high level of bowling. He knows how to get the job done. And you'd have to think he'll be primed and ready to go here. Not a bad bowl there. Not quite on the inside of that one, but still putting on a pretty good show here. Wayne Rudiger in the first of what will be 18 ends. Hopefully 18 ends and no extra ends, but hey, imagine that. Might have to set up camp here, I reckon. Thankfully it is a long weekend, so everyone out there will have a chance to recover after today's nail-biting action. Johnny Nicolai just struggling with his line there a little bit. The weight's good. So, big opportunity for Rudiger here. The last bowl at the end. course, the 3-bowl pairs that it is. Can the Central Chargers put a number down here to start with? Or it's going to be a big, fat, juicy 4 for the Chargers. So they get off to an absolute dream start there, the Mallee Pirates. It's a tough one to concede first up. As we said, it's going to be interesting to see how they respond. We've seen Nathan rolling the jack here with his left hand, Isaac. We've sort of spoken about it before, but those new to the stream or new to the concept, talk us through the thinking behind rolling the jack with the opposite hand.
Yeah, Joe, I think, we did speak about it a few weeks ago. But some players do opt to roll it with their left hand. Using the heavier jacks on these carpet surfaces, they take a different... there's a very different speed from the heavy jack on this surface compared to your bowl. So sometimes you can lose a little bit of touch rolling the jack with your right hand.
Very interesting to see as we see Nathan just tucking his first bowl in behind there, a bit back closer to the tee. On to Rachel Krebex now. Just takes a bit of a step. Just centering herself here, getting the touch of spray off the bowl. Of course, we saw her put on a very strong display when she was on the live stream ranked in round 3, of course, playing with Josh Thompson in the pairs. So interesting to see how she goes here. And I'll tell you what, Isaac, she's not stepping away from the spotlight. Comes up with a great starter there. Of course, the resume of Patterson and Rudiger probably doesn't get a whole lot stronger here in South Australia bowls. So it's going to be interesting to see how Nikolai and Krebex just step up as the underdogs. Patterson just pushing his next bowl past. Struggling a little bit with weight at the moment, but as we always say, better to be past than short. Back to Krebex now. We will keep you updated across the other 2 rinks as well as we see some incredibly relieved Tyson Comets players just taking a load off, kicking the feet up and enjoying a nice cold West End. Rachel just pushing her bowl past there. Mark Hayden's getting the theatrics going in the triples already early. And as we see the singles as well, not a lot of movement on those scores just yet. We do have the Chargers have jumped out to an early 6-0 lead in the triples, and the singles is locked at 1 apiece. As we see Nathan Patterson with a great bowl there. After struggling, putting his first 2 long, coming up with a good bowl, of course. The 2 originals for this season with the microphones. We're getting to hear more insights. They gave us some great stuff in round 1, so very interested to hear what sort of insight they give us here in this preliminary final. Rachel Krebex has got a very good track here to take the jack. There you go. She's stepping up to the challenge. She knows how close they were to a grand final spot, and she isn't going to let this second opportunity slip. Back to Rudiger now. Not much to be phasing this man. Just settling into the contest early, getting the pace of the rink. Just takes a moment, just have a bit of a look. But he's all business when he gets on the mat. Of course, been great to see him taking part in the SA Super League this year. Unfortunately, injury kept him out last season, so he's been a massive part for the Central Chargers. And with bowling like that, you know why. Great start here, second end for Wayne Rudiger. He's really embraced it, which has been great to see. We obviously always appreciate all the support of the top players getting involved in the SA Super League and committing to it. It's great to see them out here mixing it with the best. Watch John Nikolai. Rachel Krebex is having a good look at this one. She's well within her right to go. Oh, great effort by Johnny Nick there. Not quite. Jose getting up and about in the triples. Geez, if you can find me out 2 more enthusiastic or noisier triple skippers in the Super League, let me know, because Jose and Haynes are going to be plenty of noise from back there. Rudy just sliding this one past, but a very good home.
Absolutely, Joe. He's got a very good shot on after this to trail the jack for 4.
John Nicolai, he knows, can't afford to concede another big number to get them going here. Really cannot afford it. He's going on a wide track that is customarily the wide hand. It's trying to come in strongly late. Oh, not quite. He will have the tee back there, but as you said, Isaac, a big chance for Rudiger to possibly put up another 4 here for the Chargers. What can he do? The man they call Rudy. Nathan Patterson is just going to torque this one right into position. Unfortunately, it's going to come up a little bit short. Talk us through what Rachel's explaining there, Isaac.
So if John Nicolai on his forehand, right hand is backhand, so commentary box side, if he does make contact on his front bowl, the blue one will be punched out and his purple will remain. Not too far away, Joe.
Oh,
there we go.
Wow. What a shot, John Nicolai. So the Mallee Pirates, they avoid possible disaster. They take one shot and they get on the board. So it's the Pirates 1, the Chargers 4 after 2 ends here. Preliminary final. The winner goes through to the big dance next week. The loser, it's all over and done with. The Mallee Pirates, they finished with the minor premiership. They will not want to be bundled out in straight sets. But they're going to have their hands full this evening against this talent-packed Central Chargers outfit. So you see opting for a very long end here for the Pirates. On Rachel Krebex now to get the Pirates underway with a good start here in the third end. Third of 18, 21 ends in the singles, 18 in the triples. Overall score is what it's all about in the finals, folks. You see Rachel just coming up a bit short there, unfortunately. Big opportunity for Patterson. He's been long on the first couple of ends. So this length may just about suit him. Yep, as it does. Definitely suiting him, this sort of length. Krebex, beautiful smooth action. Keeps it nice and simple. If we watch that green sticker will roll its way down the rink. She's corrected on her line here, and she's definitely corrected on her weight. She's going to have another piece of the jack here, Isaac. Rachel Krebex started like a house on fire. Talk about stepping up to the occasion. Showing Nathan Patterson how it's done. But with a bowler like Patterson, you can always expect a pretty strong response, or can't quite get underneath his original bowl. You'd have to think if he got underneath there, he probably would have been pretty close.
Yep, absolutely, Joe.
That weight looked very good, but a fantastic chance for Krebex now to really capitalise. Relishing this longer end. She's going to be a bit tight on her line, unfortunately. But the weight is absolutely spot on. Not a bad effort, not a bad set there for Rachel Krebex. So back on to Patterson now for his third bowl, as we see John Nicolai having a good close look. Just planning his next move. Patterson's got a bit of a strut up here. He doesn't mind this one. Having a good close look at it. It's just going to be a little bit tight, unfortunately. Nearly knocked Krebex's in as well. So it has stayed up. So it is in play. Wayne Rudiger as well, just assessing the situation here. So we see the triples. We have the Chargers leading the way 6-2 over the Pirates. And the singles, the Pirates leading the way 3-2 over the Chargers. So Josh Thompson taking it up to Craig Mills there. It's going to be a great contest all round. Stay with us this afternoon, folks. Find a nice comfy spot. Maybe just push the Sunday roast back a little bit. Maybe 10 minutes, half hour. Let's get this game of bowls in before you need to duck off. Hopefully you're enjoying the first half of a beautiful long weekend out there. Wayne Rudiger now. Might have to just remind Nathan not to get in the way of the camera because he's sort of blocking our shot here a little bit. It's going to go through the gap. On to John Nicolai now. Oh, can he get inside those two bowls of Patterson? Not quite. So the Pirates probably hold a couple here. Rudiger won't want to be far away now. Cool, this one just run out of legs. Looks like it will, unfortunately.
Nice little toucher, won't go astray here, Joe.
Can John Nicolai draw one in nice and close?
All down to his legs, mate.
Oh, not a bad effort. Rudiger now coming at it with some aggressive weight. Be looking to rip that shot bowl out if he can. Oh, he's probably reduced the damage there. Yep, so it's just going to be just the one shot to the Pirates. So the Pirates move along to 2. The Chargers, they remain on 4. As we head back in the 4th end here, heading back towards the club rooms. Of course, let us know in the comments where you're watching from, folks. Your tip for this game, who do you think's going to get up?
Oh, Joe, we've just seen another jack into the ditch.
I was trying to ignore it because I didn't want it to happen. I didn't want it to happen again, but unfortunately it has. Rachel just showing off the guns there. Rach falling into that very easy trap as we've seen. It really doesn't take much. Rolling it back towards the club rooms here. Oh, a very, very easy trap for players to fall into, and it's happened again. So Patterson rolling with his left hand here, as we spoke about earlier. Mostly back towards the tee, but back to Krebex now. So you see the overall score, the Chargers just skipping away to a bit of an early lead. The Pirates will just want to make sure that doesn't get too far away. Obviously, we saw them come from nowhere to draw level in their qualifying final, but doing that twice in a day will be tough. Heard it there. Great start from Rachel Krebex. She's on the money here, really living up to the challenge of taking on Nathan Patterson. You see Nathan, his weight's going to be pretty good, just his line's a little bit tight, but you'd have to expect to be closer with his second. Krebex again, though, opportunity for her to capitalise here. Obviously, after rolling the jack of the ditch, just wants to make it up to the skipper and just take full advantage. And again, add that one to the touch account, Isaac. Rachel Krebex is on fire at the moment. Changing it up big time on just the 4th end. That's at least her 3rd toucher. Putting on a great show. She wants to drag the Pirates through to a grand final. Who doesn't want to hear that theme song after the grand final next week? Get it over the loudspeaker, I say. Get the Pirates fired up. Jose might just have to duck into the club. We might even just have to belt out a bit of version a cappella out here in the green just to get them fired up and over the line. Of course, do yourself a favour. Anyone out there, if you are watching, if you can track down a link to the Mallee Pirates theme song, whack it in the comments. We will give you a big shout out for that one and make sure it's in there as a treat for all the other viewers who may not have heard it yet. Crabback's just a little bit tight on her line. Her weight was good again there. Could have very easily turned that into 3 up if she'd gone a foot wider. Great insight there from Wayne Rudiger. Doesn't get much better. Nathan Patterson now. Ask it to turn. It's on a pretty good track. It's going to sit on an earlier bowl. Oh, a little bit stiff there. But it'll still be the Pirates holding one. So watch this replay here. Plenty of action going on behind us as well. So it's going to go right down to the wire, folks. Could we see two draws in one day? Funny how when it happens in some sports, it comes in waves. John Nicolai now. The lefty. It's got a really good gap to work with through here if he has the legs, but unfortunately he's going to come up short. Be disappointed with that one first up, but still has 2 more bowls to play. Patterson and Rudiger, experienced teammates. Don't really have to say a whole lot. They just sort of know what they're doing. But as we said, they have got the microphones on, so hopefully they're giving us good insight. Rudiger's not going to be too far away. Oh, aggressive weight again. Not far off. Chance for Nicolai, though.
Yeah, he really needs another one in the head, Joe. He's going to be, potentially could go 3 down, 4 down even.
Nothing really past the jack at this stage, so if he can sneak around the back here, he'll have something at least, which isn't a bad result. Oh, gee, that nearly ended up in the ditch as well. The slope towards the club rooms nearly caught another victim. Rudiger here, just be looking to correct that little bit of line.
What a great shot.
Wayne Rudiger, that's a very good contender for the shot of the day, I think, Isaac. Shot of the round. Stepping up to the big occasion, the big player. That's what you're up against when you're playing against this Central Chargers team. But we know John Nicolai does have it in him here. He's staring this one down. Looks like he's going to be tired, unfortunately. Going to be well tight. So a bit of a free hit here for Rudiger. Is there a way he can create a bit of a number, Isaac?
No, not really, Joe. He's really just got to draw another. Nothing really on for them, unfortunately.
He's spot on with his previous bowl. Can he draw in a second here for the Central Chargers? Just needs it up a little bit. It's going to get a nice little rub off the front there.
Unreal.
And it's going to be 3 for the Chargers. So the Chargers move along to 7. The Pirates, they remain on 2. So the Chargers opening up a bit of an early lead here. Quick update on the other ranks. The triples, the Chargers lead the way 8-3. And the singles, unfortunately, we've just got half a scoreboard being blocked here, so we will wait for Josh Thompson just to hop out of the way as we see a drive from Craig Mills. So it's Mills leading Thompson 5-4. So Chargers up on all 3, but it's not getting out of hand just yet. So we see nice long end again here. Patterson on the mat this time. It's on a pretty good track early. Not a bad starter here. Going to come up short, but a good line. Wayne Rudiger just checking out the action across the other couple of rinks. Of course, as we said, finals of the SA Super League, it is all about the overall. Rachel Crabbex again, hold the phone. She's going to add another touch into the collection. She could have 3 of the 4 shots of the round so far at this stage. putting on an absolute clinic of lead bowling at the moment, really throwing down the gauntlet to Nathan Patterson, which is probably something we don't see or hear too often. Patterson, though, he says, goodbye you, Rachel, but don't count me out. Oh, he nearly got a piece of the jack himself, not quite, but he does have the back bowl now. Krebeck's now having to draw to that wider backhand. On a tight line, just needs it to hold here. The weight's good again. She could shift the jack again here, Isaac. Oh, oh wow. Get a hot spot out on that one. That must have been close. She has got the radar locked in. And those white bowls are absolutely peppering the little yellow jack. Speaking of peppering the jack, Patterson's not going to be far away here. He'll take the shot bowl. Oh, geez. Yeah, I think still, but not much in it at all. So, opportunity for Krebeck's again. Does have a couple of bowls in a decent spot here. She can shift the jack again, which she's on track to do again. Stop it.
Wow.
Look at that.
Joe.
Rachel Krebeck's going to run out of ink in the pen here in a moment, keeping track of this. Folks, this is what the SA Super League is all about, being treated to an absolute clinic. Cometh the moment, cometh Rachel Krebeck's. She's stepping up. Brad Errock are very interested onlooker in the background there. So we see Wayne Rudiger with a little bit of work to do here. As you can see, Krebeck's holding one with two bowls sitting there very nicely to be able to be used by John Nicolai. Rudiger just sliding under a little bit. Rachel Krebeck's giving a bit of a shrug of the shoulders, saying, you're the skipper here, mate. I'm bowling absolute bombs. You just try and get it close as well. John on a tighter line here. If he can sneak inside Rudiger's bowl, no, it's just going to run out of legs. Patterson just asking Rudiger to cover those two back bowls of Krebeck's there. Definitely danger for a number to be created for the Pirates if they don't cover this. He's giving it a bit of room. Oh, he'll tuck in behind. So the Pirates with a bit to do here. A chance to peg back a few shots. They trail by 5 shots in this rink. They trail by 10 shots overall. They just know they cannot afford to let that margin blow out any further. Keep it within 10, make a run at it late. Nicolai's just going to cut the head again, unfortunately. He's playing with good aggressive weight, but he's just not quite got that line on. Rudiger now, not giving much away. It looks okay. Oh, it's just going to come underneath again. So on Nicolai now, the Pirates will take at least one here. No, he's just overcorrected on that line, unfortunately. So it's going to be one to the Pirates. The Pirates move along to 3. The Chargers, they remain on 7. And in the blink of an eye, folks, we've already played 5 of 18 ends in this preliminary final. The winner books a date with the Heist and Comets in next week's grand final. Oh, another long jack roll there. It's got me on edge now. Every jack roll back towards the club rooms is just... Oh, keeps you on your toes. Rachel Krebeck's. She is heating up at the moment. Can she continue this form? So we see Craig Mills is pushing out to a 4-shot lead over Josh Thompson in the singles. And the Chargers in the triples, they lead by 5. So As we said earlier, the Chargers holding all three. Good weight there from Krabex, but not quite on the line. See that trademark Nathan Patterson action. Looking for a good start here.
Out on that wide forehand again, Joe. We see that one was just outside that peg line. It's going to make its way nearly all the way back to the centre line.
What is it about Nathan that makes him the bowler he is? Obviously, we've spoken about a few of the other top bowlers over the Super League season, but what's Nathan's strengths and what makes him so dangerous?
I think he's just so consistent, Joe. He's always, if he's down, he's always in the area, plays good weighted shots and understands the game as well. I think that's very key.
Of course, the reigning Sports Centre State Men's Singles winner won an absolutely incredible final against Stuart Forbes a couple of months ago. And here they are, teammates of the Central Chargers, both pulling in the same direction. Looks like he's corrected on his line here. Just needs the legs. Not too far off, but as you said, just that consistency. He might be shorter, he might be a little bit offline, but he's never really both of them. Krabex now set a very high standard for herself so far in this game. A lot to live up to. Asking it to do a bit from this commentary box side. It's just going to run out of legs, unfortunately. John Nikolai watching very closely. Patterson's opportunity here. The Chargers, they lead by 4 shots in this rink. Can they really start pushing that out? That one's not going to help, unfortunately. The weight's not there. Don't really have to say much between the boys. Bit of a smile and a little high five. And just looking off into the distance. We'll see John Nikolai straight on the mat here. Now, this is one question I have been meaning to ask Isaac.
Yes.
Foot position on the mat. Is there any particular trick to this? Is it just particular preference with individual bowlers? What's the deal there? Because the more I watch, the more we see guys and the girls, they'll mix it up whether they're playing certain shots. They've got 1 foot on, 1 foot off, sort of half and half, as we see Rudy here with his left foot. What's the situation there?
I think it all comes down to A, how you were taught when you first started, and B, personal preference. I think everyone seems to vary and everyone seems to be a little bit different, but I think the general rule of thumb is that your planted foot, so if you're right-handed, your right foot, left-handed, your left foot, starts, as we see there, John Nikolai, the line is on the outside of his foot, so therefore his shoulder starts over the centre line.
Yep, okay. Very interesting. John Nikolai here on the left-hander's backhand. Saw a good bowl from Rudiger before. It just ran out of legs. Nikolai going to have the same issue here. And, of course, anyone out there that would like to get a bit of coaching advice or just make sure they're in the best shape to prepare for next season, or if you've got finals coming up over the next couple of weeks, hit up the Bowls SA website, look up our Coach Zone program. Your opportunity out there to work with some of the best coaches in South Australia just to develop your game. So hit that one up. It'll be well and truly worth it. See John Nikolai again. The Chargers holding it at least a couple here. 2, maybe a measure for a 3rd. Unfortunately, Nikolai's going to come up short. So a big opportunity now for the Chargers. I think an ambitious 3 from Nathan Patterson there. A little bit of a surprise look from Rachel Krabex. Can Wayne Rudiger see that gap there between the light blue and the dark blue bowls? It looks like he's going to get through this gap. Wayne Rudiger, classy as it comes. So we take 3 bowls out there. So it is going to be 4 to the Central Chargers. So the Chargers, they move out to 11. The Pirates, they remain on 4. Starting to look very, very ominous for the Mallee Pirates, folks.
The triples charges crew as well just picked up a 4 at the same time, Joe.
And Craig Mills just getting a couple to push his lead out to 5 in the singles. So they lead by 5 in the singles, 10 in the triples, as well as 7 here in the pairs. So Central Chargers, we called it earlier with a team like they've got. I spoke to Hainsey earlier, their disappointment last week of slipping to 4th spot like they did, but I think they knew as long as they made it, they were still going to be the most dangerous team that no one would want to come up against. Good start by Patterson again here, short, but again that line really not too far away. Krebeck's looking for a response. Has bowled incredibly well, but it's just not reflecting on the scoreboard so far. Oh, she's going to have good weight here. She'll get a rub off Patterson's first bowl. It's like good home there for Rachel Krebeck. Back on Patterson now. Tell you what, it's on a pretty good track to come in and sit nicely on Krebeck's bowl. Bowl there from Patterson. John Nicolai knows the Mallee Pirates are going to have to really be on their toes here to stay in this one. So we see that overall lead blows out 34-13, 21 shots already. Really unfortunate. The Mallee Pirates, the minor premiers, love to see them put up a fight to finish the year. Krebeck's again. Even when she's off target, she's on target today. Wowee.
Couple of good results, I think, in a row there, Joe.
She's going to be wiping. She's going to have to need a new bowls cloth after this one because she's wiping that much touch of spray off her bowls. But yes, I think you're right. Riding the lucky train while she can. Patterson. Oh, that might have just fallen out of a measure for shot. Krebeck's just getting an idea of how far Patterson's last bowl was short. Awesome angle there. She's just asking it just to settle. Yeah, unfortunately, that wider line and the weight she's got on it. Oh. Just going to drop into the ditch. Just goes for a swim. Nearly held up there. So it's just about going to be a draw-off between these two skippers now.
Absolutely, Joe. Potentially that look, Joe, might play quick at the whites.
Yes, I think Wayne Rudiger, not a fan of my theory of a draw off here. That's okay, Wayne. You are the jackaroo, and I've only known anything about the sport of lawn bowls for a couple of years now. We'll take your word over mine. Oh, can it just sneak in? Or it might fall in for the shot. Very close. Feel like he could be setting up for something later on. Wayne Rudiger. John Nicolai needs to really get something in the way to thwart those plans. And I tell you what, Isaac, Johnny Nick.
Very, very good.
So as we hear, measure per second. He's going to go for that backhand again, Wayne Rudiger. He's watching it closely. Needs it to do a bit of work to get inside Nicolai's bowl. Not quite. He's just going to give it a little push. Not far away, though. So we see Central Chargers coach TJ Saunders just wandering around, keeping a very close eye on proceedings, as he always does. Nicolai If he can get inside Rudiger's bowl here, he could make it 2. Ooh, what does that leave us with here, Isaac, for Rudiger?
Not much.
Just going to draw another one close. A few creative plans thrown around, but I think they've taken the safe option here. Nah, doesn't like it. Straight out of the hand. Disappointment there from Rudiger. Not a terrible home, though, depending on what shot Nikolai opts for here. Oh, can he sit Rudiger's bowl? Turn it into 2. It's tracking not too bad. Oh. Just needed another foot of weight through there, and he could have just about ripped it out. So it's 1 to the Pirates. The Pirates move along to 5. The Chargers, though, they still lead comfortably on 11. We played 7 ends in this pairs matchup, folks. Quick update on the other ranks. Craig Mills leading Josh Thompson 10-7 in the singles and the triples rank. The Chargers, they lead 13-3 with an update to come possibly on that scoreboard. So as we see a power play here for the Central Chargers, it looks like. Oh no, maybe a Mallee Pirates. No. Once, yep, there we go. Nathan's following the correct process for a power play, which we absolutely love to see.
And you're not, because it's called a super end, champ.
Hey, you said power play plenty of times in that earlier match, mate. Don't make me get the footage out this week, all right? Don't make me get the footage out. Rachel Krabax now. Can the Mallee Pirates, can they keep the super end for the Central Chargers quiet? As we see the Chargers having the last bowl, they've opted to use the first of their super ends. They lead by 6 shots here. They lead by 21 shots overall. So we see Patterson here. Not a bad start from Nathan. Gets his first bowl passed, which isn't a bad thing. Good line again. Great close-up of the Dreamline XG there. Central Chargers super end. Can they capitalise? They lead by 6. Can they push that lead out to double figures? Or can Rachel Krabax keep putting on a great show of lead bowling here? She's doing well so far. On to Patterson now. Just looking to correct his weight here.
Couple bowls to sit as well, Joe, so no harm in having this weight.
Oh, just gets enough of that white bowl to slow it down. Looked like it was almost going to sneak through that gap there, but able to sit. Back to Krabax now. She's going to opt for the forehand now. What could she do? Doesn't want to be short here. Has a good opportunity with Patterson's previous bowl, a good target to sit on. She's going to be a bit tight here, unfortunately. Big opportunity for Patterson. Just take a moment just to have a look. He's going to come on the forehand. Again, has those 2 white bowls just past the jack to be able to sit if he needs. Going on a very wide track, but look at this thing coming strongly. Look at it go. Nathan Patterson, that consistency you mentioned earlier, Isaac. So the Central Chargers, they're not doing too badly here. They've got their super end. So we'll see John Nikolai now. Really needing something big. Cannot afford to drop any sort of number here. You'd have to think if Patterson and Rudiger can capitalise on this super end, they could just about start really putting a gap on their opponents. Nikolai just asking this one to come in strongly, not quite. So over to Rudiger. Rudiger, he's going to come up a little bit short, unfortunately. Nikolai, very wide line here. Will this one do a bit more than the previous one? It's creeping, it's crawling, its way in. Oh, may have just fallen in for the shot bowl there. So a bit for Rudiger to do now. Oh, he doesn't like it out of the hand. Oh, just that line, unfortunately, had the weight there to do some damage, but back over to Nikolai. Can the Pirates shut down the Chargers super end? Nikolai going on that same line again. Just needs this one to come in hard from where it is. Not quite. So what's Rudiger looking at here, Isaac? How does he turn this into something to make the most of the super end?
Well, Peto's call, Joe, was to swing up, and if the jack does go out of bounds, he's got 2 on the tee. They do have a few bowls back as well.
Hang on a minute. Wayne Rudiger. Ooh.
Wow.
Bit of pinball action there.
Wow.
Oh.
That's about as unlucky as you can get, Joe, as we see a replay.
Just as it was bouncing back as he'd hoped on the 2 of their bowls, it's clipped that bowl that's in play there and gone sideways. So 2 to the Mallee Pirates. So the Pirates move along to 7. The Chargers, they remain on 11. As we've completed 8 ends as we enter the 9th, as we make a change here in the commentary box. Bringing in Josh Choppin, mate. How's everything just settled down after that qualifying final? It must be a nice feeling now.
Yeah, heart rate's probably still a little bit higher than it should be, but yeah, settling down now slowly. Yep, she was pretty tense at the end there.
As we watch Rachel's.
Rach played good in
First
our
bowl.
pairs game, in that first game as well. It wasn't on stream, but yeah, it was a very good game.
Mate, she's probably put in at least 4 or 5 touches here so far, so putting on a clinic. Obviously, talk us through the last end of the pairs game earlier. You guys, unfortunately, yourself and Brett dropping a 4, which became an 8. Not ideal.
Less than ideal. Yeah, yeah. So it was a double power play. We had our power play, and the Pirates had theirs. We were ahead overall, so we just needed to drop a 1 or a 2 or something, right? Thought we'd make it a bit more exciting and drop a 4, turned into an 8, and we all came back out for an extra end. And then, yeah, obviously that's pretty tense, and like you're sort of watching what all the other rinks are doing while you're playing your end and everything. Don't get to do that too often, but yeah, it worked out in the end, I suppose.
No, I'll be happy if I never had to commentate 3 separate rinks of bowls at the same time ever again. That was, we'll have a sore neck tomorrow, but it was absolutely riveting viewing as we watch Rachel correcting on her weight nicely from her first bowl here.
Yeah, good shot.
And those extra ends, I mean, there was probably 10 to 15 minutes there just while we clarified what was going on.
Yep.
How tough is it to bounce back, get back out there and bowl again to a decent standard?
Yeah, I think Brett and I even said, like, before, you know, Maddie and the triples had finished their last game, we said, let's try not to switch off. And, like, we stayed on the green, you know, didn't go up to the bank and sort of get a drink or anything like that. We just said, we'll wait and see what happens. And that's it. I think you just kind of have to stay on the green, like, pretend there is going to be another extra end, even if there isn't. And then, yeah, but like you said, it's hard mentally after you think you're done. I said to Rach afterwards, wouldn't it be the biggest brain play of all time if someone saved a power play for the extra end?
Yeah, well, that's a good curly one that we might have to ask our dear friend Isaac just to see if that would be a legal move. You never know. Hey, come grand final day next week or this afternoon.
I'm thinking, like, if you're one up overall and it's the last end and you've got a power play left, you wouldn't play it because you don't need it. You never know.
That's it. Always creative thinking here. The SA Super League, as we see Nathan Patterson coming up with a touch here before, probably pushing it on to Krebex's bowl as she sends her third into the ditch. But I sort of said it to Maddie Northcott in the interview after, just the relief of not having to play again this afternoon and especially taking on this Chargers team.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, we spoke about that as well after having the break and the extra end and having to back up for another game against obviously a quality side, and the Chargers would have been a bit tough. But Chargers seem to be doing the business at the moment.
Yes, they sure do. Patterson just drawing to the number here. Oh, it's just going to stay up. Look at that.
On the lip.
Shows just how close it is. So over to the skips. And yeah, your thoughts, obviously, like you said, the Chargers just sort of getting the business done now.
Yeah, I think everyone's known throughout the year, on paper, the Chargers with a full strength side are probably the team to beat. You've got probably 4 or 5 of the best players in the state in the one team, so they're always going to be hard to beat. And I know they've changed their roster around a bit during the season with unavailabilities and things, but once they're back at full strength, obviously we're seeing here and in the previous game, they're a very difficult side to come up against, so we're going to have to do some work during the week and figure out a plan.
Yep. And I guess for you guys, though, obviously coming off a Woodland Spoon last season to
Thanks
go
for the reminder.
Hey, nothing but brutal honesty in this commentary box. But to make it through to a grand final and straight through to a grand final, it probably doesn't get much better than hopefully maybe taking a premiership next week.
Yeah, ideally, but I think it just shows the system works and it keeps all the teams in the competition on a sort of rotating basis. The top 1 or 2 picks in the draft every year are obviously worth the value. So we finish Wooden Spoon, we pick up Mallee, and that, we pick up a couple other nice players in the draft, and that obviously just makes a world of difference. So I'm sure this year the teams that, and it was very narrow at the bottom of the ladder this year as well,
yep.
I think. So the teams that finish bottom down there and get a top 1 or 2 draft pick will obviously be strong next year, and sort of how it goes, right?
Exactly right. So see Rudiger just coming up a bit short there. So the Pirates holding 1. John Nicolai now, the lefty. Trailed by 4 shots on this rink. So we know that overall score isn't looking fantastic for the Pirates.
And Rudy might try and sit this white one here for a handful nearly.
Yes, well, there is a number on here if he can execute. The Jackaroo. Oh, he doesn't like it. He's shrugged there.
That one's a bit of a jackapoo.
Oh, hang on.
Wait.
Imagine if that bowl was sitting on its side and it just tipped it in. Wow. Oh, never a dull moment here at the Super League, folks.
And the thing is, it's a bit of a margin, but we always have to be mindful of the power plays. We don't know what the Pirates have got left up their sleeves in terms of power plays overall.
Exactly. Well, we have seen the Chargers use 1 super end here that they were unable to capitalise. The Pirates still have 2,
right,
which it looks like 1 is possibly in play, or they may have forgotten to take the light off. So, but yes, it's those. The super end definitely are close. You think similar again here from Rudy, just looking to sit that white bowl?
I think so. There's a bit more in the equation now with Johnny Nick's bowl sort of just behind the jack. It's a little bit more dangerous if you get through the front stuff. So I think Nate's saying even if you get the front one and it gets through the bowl, we're probably still 2 or 3. More weight this time.
Here we go. He's not going to die wondering Wayne Rudiger is going to have a red hot go.
That's the one that Beto said works.
Wow, what a shot, Wayne Rudiger.
Well played.
How about that, folks? There's a reason he's a Jackaroo. Comes up with a massive 3 there for the Central Chargers. So the Chargers, they move to 14. The Pirates, they remain on 7. It's a great shot.
How good's the footage too?
Unreal angles there. Does not get any better. Best bowls coverage in the country. You may accuse me of being biased, but you just have to look, folks.
Wouldn't be bowls if you weren't biased, mate.
Exactly. I will back the Spacequake crew to the absolute hilt. Anyone out there wants to say they can stream bowls better, I'd love to see them try. So we see Nathan here on the backhand side.
Not a fan.
No.
Initial reaction is not a fan.
I have a feeling we're going to get some pretty good audio from him again for the sounds of the game, I think.
Oh, you haven't got him mic'd up, have you?
We've got him and Rudy on the mic again, so they gave us some good stuff in round one, and I just have a feeling they're going to look after us again this time.
Yeah, he won't disappoint.
See Krabex here. Had a couple of quieter ends. We're halfway through this match, folks. 9 ends done, 9 to go. And I tell you what,
a shot.
got our radar back, Rachel Krabex.
On a toucher.
Not too bad. Add that one to the collection.
Almost stitched it. I mean, the mat's a little bit up, but quite a long end as well, so adds to the degree of difficulty.
She's stepping up to the occasion, that's for sure. As we see Patterson is going to be on a tight line here. So we look for an update.
Oh,
I think
drama behind us.
Josh Thompson's just shattered a couple of windows and knocked half the bowls out of the triples head. So I think there's a few spectators in the crowd that had their wicket-keeping gloves on ready to catch that as the marker from the singles game just wanders 4 rinks over to pick one up.
He's ripped the second wood out of the head next door.
That is some serious heat, Josh Thompson.
We need the speedometer out for future years.
Well, we have. I did throw the concept at Isaac last week. A bit of a just line it up grand final day, have a bit of a drive off, see who can get the best speed hooking down.
That's a good idea.
The old school, get all the fast bowlers on the net, let them all have a go and see who can bring out the biggest number. It would be good fun because there's some seriously good.
There's a couple big ones around.
Oh, you'd have to just about reinforce the ditch though, I reckon, if you're going to do it. Rachel now.
Rach got a good set with the first 2. Second one ended up just behind.
Can she finish her set here?
Speed looks good.
Looks good to tuck in a nice little line. Not too bad.
Might be 2. Good set. What's Wayne going to do?
That's the age-old question. He's going to draw the shot, he reckons. I did say, he must have heard me say before, it was going to be a draw-off, and there was a bit of a shake of the head, so you never quite know what he's thinking. It's always good fun. The man from Grange had a good week a couple of weeks ago with the Adelaide Pioneers at the BPL in Mallee as well. Him and Scotty T.
Yeah, they went fantastic, didn't they?
Oh, and Caitlin Inch. They always make a hell of a team. And you've just got to think, playing that BPL format almost just sort of leads into the Super League really well. Just that creativity, and they're always looking to attack, obviously, with that big and even more reduced form. It's all about scoring.
100%. There's not too many competitions around with the Super End concept either.
John Nikolai here.
Pretty good. It's definitely made 2. Best calves in lawn bowls. How's the close-up?
100%. You could keep the shot on those calves for 10 minutes and not even worry about the bowls, and I think the viewers would be happy. Rudiger here is going to get a rub off that one. He's going to punch it through.
Back to 1 down. Won't be too unhappy.
So we'll see how he goes. But yes, the famous set of legs. Johnny Nick, another one of the sunglass hands to add to the collection. We had a few good ones on the streamers last week.
Oh, mate, there's all sorts of different tan lines going on in the lawn bowls community.
John Nikolai here. Will it have the legs to get up for a second shot? Oh, probably not quite. Not far. Big shot for Rudiger here. He's watching this one close, not giving a lot of great signs body language-wise, but just
Tell you what.
Just cutting underneath there. Just cut through. Could have turned into a couple. Look at this replay. Missed by an absolute whisker. Hopefully you're enjoying the streams out there, folks. For those wondering that are just joining in while we seem to be running a bit behind time, a bit of drama in the qualifying final with a draw there. So we were forced to play extra ends. So we are playing a little bit of catch up, but no time limits in these finals. So these guys will get to play a full game. And John Nikolai just says, thank you very much. Not sure what the number was there. 2, I reckon.
I think a 2.
So the Mallee Pirates, they hang in there. They move along to 9. The Central Chargers, they remain on 14. 10 ends down, 8 to go. So just repeating, 2 shots to the Mallee Pirates. So they're hanging in this contest. They trail 14 to 9.
Helps you overall as well, obviously. I mean, it has ballooned out a bit, but there is a lot of ends left. And like we said, a power play, you get a 3 on one rink and a 4 on another or something, and all of a sudden, game is on. So you never know.
You just never know in the SA Super League, folks. Good weight from Rachel there, just a little bit off on the line. What can Nathan do? Looks like he's on a pretty good track to get us going here. The 11th end.
Good start.
Never too far away, Nathan Patterson.
Taught him everything he knows, Nathan, as a young man at Westlakes many years ago.
Might have to mention that one next time he wanders past. We'll see if we can get a response out of him.
Oh, probably best if he doesn't hear that one.
Rachel Krebeck, she's definitely corrected on her line. Wait's good again. Finds a good home. Gets something past the jack. So back to Patterson again.
Good track again.
Might just nudge his first bowl forward. Not quite, but not far away.
Hainsey just draws a shot from 1 down in the triples as well. Everything going the Chargers' way at the moment. Jose with 2 to go though.
I think Mark Haynes absolutely desperate to put on a show to try and get the triples on the live stream rink next week if it's possible.
Try and get his mug back in front of the camera.
It was funny at the end of that qualifying final. They'd obviously finished against the Knights over there. Could sense there was a bit of drama going on. Hainsey just sauntered over here to the commentary box, and of course Isaac just had to go double check the conditions of play. So I think Hainsey was more than happy to chuck the headset on and have a bit of a chat, and a big thank you to him for that. Getting a bit of his airtime, but I reckon he'll be putting the hard word on Isaac and maybe even bumping the rent up this week if he doesn't get a chance on the live stream next week if the Chargers get through to the grand final.
I think he offered Pedo $50 to lead in the Bears this game, actually, and take him down.
It's always good fun. Really great supporters, all these players of the SA Super League. A big shout out to them all. And it's great to see such quality here in this preliminary final. Of course, a big shout out to all the teams that just missed out. We saw a great doubleheader to finish the year off, or finish the minor round off last week.
This looks pretty fair.
John Nikolai, it's on a good track. Just needs a couple more turns. Not quite. And stay tuned to the Boz SA Facebook page later in the week, folks. We will have the Andrew Smith medal count video will be posted on Friday. So who will win the
Who's your tip there?
best and fairest? Oh, I think I can't quite remember who I tipped on the stream early in the season. I think I might have gone with a Simon Dorr. Never too far away. Obviously yourself, even though you are playing in the competition, we can assure the people out there there's no money or gambling exchanging here. So
I don't get to vote.
your thoughts?
I think I've narrowed it down to a top 3 of Simon Dorr as well. I think Jose Gill, obviously they've finished on top. They've had a lot of wins and he's played well. And Nathan Black played singles all year as well. So I think those 3 will be Maybe if I've picked the trifecta, I'll be wrapped with myself, but they should all be up around there somewhere, I think.
Keep an eye out Friday night, folks. Put that one in the calendar, set the reminder on the phone. That video will be coming out. So Rudy goes heavy and wide here. So they probably hold a couple.
Couple of the charges, I think, yep.
But room here for John Nicolai to work on the backhand side.
He doesn't mind it.
It's definitely not going to fall short like the last one. It might just fall through the gap, unfortunately, though. Not quite able to remove one of Patterson's bowls there, so I think they still hold a couple. Good banter between the boys there. As we said earlier, played plenty of bowls together. Know each other's game inside and out. Wayne Rudiger here with a bit of a free hit to try and draw some sort of number. So it's going to be 2 to the Central Chargers. So the Chargers move to 16. The Pirates, they remain on 9. So 7-shot margin on this triples ring. Overall, unfortunately, it's not looking any better in favour of the Pirates. The Chargers leading the way comfortably. The Pirates are going to play a super end here, it looks like. So they're desperate to get something going, and they need it.
Change of length too, Matt up. Jack going to the tee.
Always a dangerous game rolling to the tee down this end, though. We've seen a few go for a swim so far today. And I reckon this could be very close. Oh,
Well rolled.
classy touch there from Nathan Patterson. So, now, as you said, Josh, the change of length. Here we go.
Hello.
Aggressive mindset early. Pot in the jack. Bang.
What a shot.
Nathan Patterson. That one's going to go in the shot of the round. I reckon he's happy with that one. He's got the swagger going.
Little look over at the booth too.
Gave us a little wink. I think Rachel Krebex just would like to give Nathan some very choice words there, I reckon, if she could, in the nicest way possible.
That's one way to mitigate a power play. Pirates say we'll power play and Nathan says we'll take one.
That's that's going to be a tough one to top for the shot of the round, I reckon, folks. They've got a couple of good ones between them, but hey, that's what it's all about.
Very creative here at the Super League. We love to see it.
That's it. They've got some players in there that you're not surprised will move like that.
How good's his drive-draw game?
Rachel Krebex, hang on.
Oh, what an effort.
Wow, it wouldn't have been the shot, but it would have been a hell of a second wood there. Now it's on to Nathan to really put on a show for us. He's come up with the first shot. Let's see what he's got here to deliver.
He's got 2.
Yes, well, let's call it off now. He says we'll take the 2. Rachel Krebex, absolute whisker away from keeping it up last time. And as we say, the ditch towards the club rooms here is a tough one to keep them up.
That's the thing. It's hard, isn't it? You want to get as close as you can for your skip, but you want to make sure you don't put 3 in the pond.
She's gone conservative there, so she's cut it down at least.
She's done well.
Yes, I think it's very easy trap to fall into just about putting all your bowls in the ditch in a situation like this. So Nathan Patterson putting on a show. He's backed it up here with a lovely draw shot.
Yeah.
Nathan Patterson displaying his class. It's pretty good, folks. It might not look overly close there, but
when you zoom in and it's a screen away, but it's actually probably less than a foot.
That's unreal bowling. Really nothing to lose for Rachel Krebex here. She's just got to have a crack. See what she can do. Oh, on an awesome track again. Just could not keep it up.
She got a bit of the bowl there first. She probably stayed up. Bit unlucky.
John Nicolai. Interesting to see his plan of attack here. It's a tough one to even really come up with a response of how to attack it. Rudiger now.
I guess that's the genius of the potting the jack on the opposition power play. It's John's power play and he's in damage control mode.
Not often we hear that. Wayne Rudiger is just going to... Oh, it looked like it was going to come up a bit short.
Yeah, it doesn't quite get in.
Yeah. John Nicolai now. 2 down. He's going to try and rip that bowler. Patterson's out. Oh, probably worst case scenario there, unfortunately. He's removed Krabex's bowl. So the Pirates do not actually have any bowls in play at the moment. So big free swing for Rudiger here. If he can get this especially close. And it looks like he has. He's given it that extra foot of weight from his previous bowl. It's a great effort on Nicolai now.
Hard to come back to a draw on a minimum length end after a drive.
Really tough. Looks like it's... Oh, if it can take a bit of a bowl here just to stay up, no.
Leaves a lot of pressure for the last one.
Yeah, so the Chargers, they currently hold 5.
I think we'd pencil that in for 6 here. Rudy just letting us know he's going to count quite safely.
Rudy, I reckon I could get a bowl to count there, but anyway.
I think my dog could get a bowl to count there.
John Nicolai.
Looking to cut it back.
Anything less than a 6 here is going to be a good result. Oh, he might run into a bit of traffic, but he's going to, probably a good thing, he's going to cut a couple off. Maybe at least just a 1 off.
Might still be 5.
Oh, it's going to be a handful for the Central Chargers. They take 5. They move along to 21. The Pirates, they remain on 9. So the bold tactic works off and the super end is nullified there.
Pedo just let us know that he was the brains of the operation for that one.
I'm sure the microphones would have caught that one, Nathan. We can't wait to hear the footage back. So it's going to be interesting here. Do you think that's something they could possibly use when it's their own power play or their own super end? Is that something, if they've got the first bowl, they decide to take it when they've got the first bowl to pop the jack and really go attacking again?
Perhaps if you're confident, if you've got someone like Nath down there who's obviously very good at playing that shot, then yeah, it could definitely be a tactic. Hopefully unsuccessful against us, assuming that they make it there, but let's not give them too many ideas.
Krebeck's here, much happier, drawing to just a nicely placed jack that's still
on the green.
On the green. Not often playing as a lead, she probably would have had to be drawing to the ditch first bowl, but again, never a dull moment. SA Super League, Craig Mills has stretched away to a big lead over Josh Thompson. He currently leads by 12 shots. And in the triples, the Chargers, they lead by 10, along with a 12-shot lead here. I believe it should be, it might only be an 8. Scoreboard reads 21-8, so we'll go with the scoreboard. So that's comfortably across all 3 rings. It's really starting to get to quite a tough point for the Pirates here.
I think Craig just won a super end in his singles as well, so it's looking grim if you're a Pirates fan. And I don't know if you recall last time we were paired up here, we gave a bit of a challenge to the viewers about looking for the Mallee Pirates theme song. I think someone's chucked it in the comments. I can't click the link from here, but Michael Shingles, if you've successfully linked us the Mallee Pirates theme song, then good on you.
Yes, well, we did put that request out earlier. I thought that the Pirates might just need it just to get them going today. Also suggested maybe Jose just go a cappella off the cuff and just maybe that'll get the team going. But a big thank you there for getting that one in the comments. It is well and truly worth having a look at, folks. One of the great songs.
Craig's just drawn inspiration from Nathan, and with the jack up, the mat up, tried to pond the jack, but he wasn't as successful. It's all happening here in the prelim. Prelim or semi? What do we call this one?
Prelim final. Prelim. So we went with the qualifying and the elimination, and then the prelim here. It's one of those ones
depending what sport you're into.
Yeah, we had a very interesting discussion in the office during the week about all the possibilities of what to call it, but I think that's what we've done previously, so we decided to roll with that. And of course, next week is the one that counts, folks. We will be kicking off the day with the junior grand final at 10 o'clock. We will be live streaming that reserves at around 12. We will be live streaming that, and the league around 2, and you better guarantee we'll be live streaming that. So it's going to be a massive day of bowls, huge week as well. Keep an eye on our Facebook page. Like we said, Andrew Smith medal, sound to the game, shots of the round, recap stories, photos. It is all about the SA Super League this week.
Massive week.
It is going to be really big, and it's going to be a great way to cap off what has been a massive season. So we see Rudiger here.
Pretty good.
Plenty of room to draw in the forehand and a couple of catches there if he can trail the jack. Oh, a little bit through, but they probably hold a couple here, the Chargers. Nikolai needs to get something at least reaching here. Looks like it should.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Very stiff there, John Nikolai.
Really be looking for a toucher here, I'm sure.
Wayne Rudiger has the possibility to turn this into a 4 for the Central Chargers. They've been untouchable so far in this prelim. Oh, he's coming in on a wide track, but if it can come in late, it's going to be that'll at least be the shot bowl. So big bowl for Nikolai here. To see what he can do.
Will he hold long enough?
It's on a good track. Just needs it to hang in there.
Scoots away at the end.
Not quite able to cut down the count and guarantee. They will take one ball out. Looks like we'll see a measure here. So we see Jono jumping in there with the camera. Just keeping Nathan very honest. Checking out the steadiness of his hands. So it's going to be 2 to the Central Chargers.
I wish we had a camera for that. Nathan's measuring every week just to keep an eye on him.
2 to the Central Chargers, who move along to 23. The Pirates, they remain on 8.
Singles finished up now. The way of Mills, 25, Thompson, 10.
So Craig Mills hitting his straps when it counts most. The Central Chargers, they've just about booked that ticket to the grand final now. It's just got to pay for it and get on the plane. They're nearly there.
Just about put Irene to bed. It's nearly good night.
There is a lady out there warming up her vocal cords, I think. We'll see what Nathan Patterson can do. A little bit short there, but won't be shattered with that one. Rachel Krebex now has put in a hell of a performance today. Hopefully she can finish off strong. Playing the 14th then, 4 ends left to come. Oh, and I tell you what, can she add another one? Not quite, but a great shot.
I'd love to know how Rachel's mental preparation went for this second game, because she wasn't aware we had a second game today. She was ready to hit the bar after the first one.
Yes, well, if that's the case, makes it even more impressive, the performance she's put in.
Well. Yeah.
So, Jake in the comments, in this format, are all ranks the same discipline? No, so we have a singles, a triples and a pair. The pairs and triples are 18 ends, the singles is 21 ends, but it is all about the overall scoreboard. So, especially in finals during the minor round, they were able to gain rink points and overall points in shots for and against, but it is simply just about overall scores now as Nathan Patterson gets it on the toucher party.
Shot pedo.
Not a bad shot there. I think they'll know this one's just about done, but they'll want to finish strongly.
Must be getting a little bit wider out there on the forehand. All 5 bowls so far, just crossing by about a foot.
Yeah, it has been interesting. That breeze hasn't been quite as strong today as it usually has, but you're right, another one
Yeah, I guess that's the thing maybe you don't notice at home is you think under the dome, carpet, everything's going to be very consistent, but changes a bit with humidity and temperature and wind, and it's a very variable surface.
And this will be one of our later finishes as well for these Sunday games. We've usually been finishing sort of around now, but a few ends left to go, so it's a little bit of a change up for what these players are used to here. The SA Super League on the Sunday. It's been a massive doubleheader of finals. Check out our Facebook page later tonight for all the results. So we see Rudiger here. Again, another one that's probably going to cut underneath.
Yeah, it's probably a fine line out there. I imagine you go too wide and you get caught out a bit. So definitely a tricky spot, but it just shows testament to how well the players are handling it through the game. They've obviously kept a pretty high standard going.
Exactly. As we see John Nicolai here, he's really testing out the width on that hand.
Just a weight in the end.
Yep. Gave it a crack though, and that's what he needs to do in this situation. The Mallee Pirates skipper. So see the triples behind us at a similar point in their game as well, maybe an end or two behind. Rudiger opting to come the other way on the backhand side, and we'll draw in the shot bowl. It looks as if they probably hold a couple here again, the Chargers.
You seen any good shot of the day contenders today? I mean, Peto's potted Jack will probably be up there.
Rudiger earlier in this game, mate, had a great shot. Was able to remove one of Krebex's bowls. It was his shot bowl, and just sat there beautifully to take the shot. So that'll be up there. In the earlier game, tough one. There was definitely some good shots. It was a little bit all over the shop. There was a lot going on in that triples game, but between Jose and Matty in particular, they put on a show, and Brad Erock with his lead bowling was just...
The late call-up, how good.
Absolute top quality. We were saying, backing up after 2 reserves games and jumping in the league, he would have been absolutely dreading having to play a fourth game on a hot day.
Yep.
I think he was very happily grabbed the beer and was sitting up behind this rink earlier and enjoying himself.
He's got to drive home to Mount Gambier tonight.
Absolutely love his commitment. Brad, if you're watching out there, enjoy the week, mate. Recover well. Hopefully.
No late nights this week, mate. Nothing strenuous.
Look after the body. You're going to be a big player again next week. Obviously, the Comets reserve side as well, getting into the big dance. So a lot going on for the Heisen Comets, which is great to see. It'll be the Rogues and the Blazers in the under-18s or the junior grand final, and I believe it'll be Comets Raiders in the reserves grand final. So
you're right, yep.
It's going to be a great display. Obviously, the Comets already in the league game. We're just waiting to see who will join them. John Nicolai, can he sneak this one in?
Oh, the weight was so good.
We'll see what the number is here. It's going to be 1.
2 or a 3?
Oh, it's going to be 3 to the Chargers. So the Chargers, they continue just to run away with this big lead. They move to 26. The Pirates remain on 8. You look at this score. In the last 4 ends, the Chargers have taken 12 shots. So they've absolutely blown this game right apart even without a super end. They've just been too classy, as we've known all season, especially these two players, getting them together for the Chargers.
Yeah, pretty deadly combination. I think that I know they've won an Australian Open fours titles together. Maybe a pairs.
I think they've at least played in a pairs final together. Yeah. I reckon I've seen that live stream replay a couple of times on the Bowls Australia Facebook page. So
I'm sure Peto will get stuck into me later for not knowing all of his achievements off the back of my hand.
We'll definitely be lining him up for the post-match interview this time. I think Rudy's had his fair share, so it's time to get Nathan on the microphone and have a chat, which will be interesting.
Put the kids to bed.
Krebeck's just cutting it across there. As we, of course, play our 15th end here. The Triples also playing their 15th end away from the club rooms. So 3 ends left to play at both rinks after this. The overall score's just getting a little bit nasty, unfortunately, for the Pirates. But it's a sad way for them to finish their season, but full credit to the Mallee Pirates to come from where they did second bottom last year, take the minor premiership and get to a prelim.
100%. Extra challenge for the Pirates today as well. Chargers just come off a win, had a good win in the semi-final, and then they get to come out and have another go, whereas the Pirates obviously didn't quite get there in that extra end, and then you feel a bit deflated. You've got to come back out and buck up again. It's a tough gig, but
Yeah, well, we sort of said it off the top in this game. Backing up emotionally after that qualifying final is always going to be tough. It is in any sport after you lose that first final. People might think having the double charts is what it's all about. It's handy, but it is also tough. Nothing wrong with winning form is good form coming from a third spot or a fourth spot in this sort of situation.
and like we said, this season's been so tight. The difference between first to fourth to even around near the bottom of the ladder has been tight all season. So it's not like they're not quality sides you're coming up against in the third and fourth spots.
Well, we saw last week the Central Chargers nearly even fell out of the four.
Imagine.
The Southeastern Spartans made a late run at it, as Nathan gives us a little look on the way past. But yes, could have been an absolutely completely different picture, and I think the Spartans will be one team that will be looking back and thinking we probably could have had a crack at it. As you said earlier, Nathan Black having an outstanding season, Tyson Wilson as well, Adam Black, a lot of absolutely class players there. They could have done some real damage if they'd made the top four, but not to be. This is what we are presented with now as we see Johnny Nicolai wandering down, and a great shot of Wayne Rudiger here.
Not going to be short.
No. Could very well be going for a swim. Yep. That one's just going to drop into the ditch. So not an ideal start from Rudy there. Nicolai on a pretty good track here. Just going to be a tad too tight, unfortunately. Weight was spot on.
Gives himself a nice little setup though with the next one or even the one after that. Little toucher for 3 or 4. And that's when you get a bit sneaky at this point in the game and you trail it for 4 instead of the opposition. Did you hear when I called Powell super at the start of the end? Did you miss that? Jeez.
Of course, Wayne and Nathan. Wayne and the Grange crew through to the Premier League Grand Final in a couple of weeks for Metro Bowls after a win over Holdie yesterday. Somerton, they will take on the Holdfast crew next week in the prelim final. Johnny Nicolai, great shot there. Could that be a contender for the shot of the day?
Maximum result too. Drags the jack across with it.
Great effort there. Deserved a bit of luck and something to fall his way here. John Nicolai has been really cracking in as hard as he can.
Bit of aggression from Wayne.
Can he rip those bowls out? Oh, there's going to be a bit going on here. So it'll still be one shot to the Pirates at this stage, with John Nicolai still having a bowl to come. So we see the triples ranked behind us getting through their final few ends at a fantastic pace as well.
Ripping through, yeah. Pirates made a little sort of mini comeback in that triples game too. Back to 8 the difference, and I think it's a Pirates power play this end too. So maybe a bit of pride on the line there.
Oh, as we see John Nicolai, their hand on the face. What probably should have been 2. Instead, they still come away with 1, the Pirates, so they move to 9. The Chargers, they remain on 26, but I think he got a bit of a better piece of the jack there than he would have wanted. And we saw the helicopter from Wayne Rudiger, so we'll have a super end here for the Central Chargers. With 3 ends left to play, they lead by 17 on this rank, comfortably overall. Now, this might be the time where they bring out a few party tricks, or they just look to put the icing on the cake. The Mallee Pirates, one thing you know, they will fight this one right out until the end, every shot they can.
And that's the thing, I'm sure they'll still be very proud of their season. Obviously a very quality side, but on paper don't have some of the big names like the Mills and the Rudiger and the Haynes and all those types. So obviously a champion team, and they've done brilliantly this season.
They sure have. Credit to them all. Rachel Krebeck's here. Going ditch to ditch.
Just got to hurry a little bit.
Was on a great track. Good sider for her next one. Patterson now. That trademark, just that little stutter action. I think that stutter was really accentuated there.
Hard to watch sometimes. I feel like I've got to jump out and try and catch him.
You've got to feel sorry for the man's ankles at some point, but he comes up with a great bowl. One of those ones, each to their own when it comes to their action, especially when they can get it done like he can.
Yeah, that's the thing. As long as you're consistent, it doesn't really matter too much. If you get it away the same time every time, who cares what your delivery looks like?
Crabbeck's here. She's hopefully going to be better away. She's just going to run into her front bowl, though, unfortunately.
Did look better.
Patterson again. He's on a good track here, folks.
Jack would be huge. Just under.
Oh, not quite, but the consistency is obvious there. Rachel Crabbeck's again.
Changing hand. Stroked it pretty nicely.
Giving herself a bit more room. The weight's there, just not quite on the line, but Rachel Crabbeck continues to really put on a strong display of lead bowling here. Patterson, though, has the opportunity if he can take a bit of jack. Can leave it with his skipper holding 3 up, possibly. Oh, he's going to be a little bit tight.
You get to the bowl? No.
50-50 for the shot bowl there, actually. Crabbeck's possibly holding 1. So good to see the boys having a bit of a chat and a bit of a laugh there. Oh, both teams playing the super round. There we go.
Right. Rudy really wants that toucher then. Not that he needs it, but he would want it, I guarantee you.
Well, we saw a late power play turn that qualifying final on its head. Unfortunately, they probably need about 5 power plays in a row here to turn this one around. But hey, might just peg that scoreline back a little bit. John Nikolai, they don't have anything past at the moment, the Pirates. And they're not going to have anything past after this one. It's a big opportunity for Rudiger here. Could very comfortably turn this into a 4, which would in fact be an 8 with the super end.
And the other question is, can John see Nathan's bowls at all? Because if the Chargers boys keep trying to trail it and missing, then they'll have nothing within the head. But looks like it's a bit congested.
He's going to have another one past there, so back on Nikolai now. Played a mixture of singles and pairs this season for the Pirates. Been a fantastic member of the team.
It's a good shot.
It's really held his own and he's showing there exactly why. Great bowl, John Nikolai.
Pedro just saying to Rudy here, you can play a bit more weight, pop the jack, get the bowl out. Not super interested.
No. Interesting to see what happens here. He's probably just going to turn that into... this could be a 3 for the Pirates, which would be a 6. So we'll just wait and see Nikolai's bowl here.
1 bullet in the chamber for John. If I see another 4 turn into an 8, I might get PTSD.
They've been known to do it. John Nikolai and Rachel Crabbeck's a 4 into an 8 with a super end. Will this one have the legs to get there? Not quite. But Rudiger will have the last bowl here. He's off target with the last one. Not often the man of his calibre will miss twice.
More weight.
He's got more weight on it. Oh, what's going to happen here, though? Oh, he may have cut the count down significantly there.
He nearly did a 10.
Jeez. So it's going to be 1 to the Pirates, which turns into a 2 for the Pirates. So the Pirates, they move along to 11. The Chargers, though, they remain on 26. 2 ends left to play here. The Triples into their 17th end. We are just about to start ours as well. The Central Chargers Triples, they hold a 6-shot lead. So it's nearly all done here, folks. Nearly wrapped up. We see Rachel Krebex on the mat here for the Pirates. Just checking out the beautiful Salisbury Bowling Club facility. I believe we'll be hosting the Premier League, the Saturday Pennant Grand Finals for Metro. So it's going to be a big couple of weeks of Pennant Bowls here, as well as Grand Final for the Super League next week.
Yeah, that's massive. Good to see a club do something big and innovative and get rewarded for it with the dome here.
They do a hell of a job. It's going to be worth coming down here next week, folks. Barbecue, bar, canteen, plenty of seating, plenty of shade. Who could want any more? Put it in the calendar. As we see Nathan Patterson. Great bowl. You get to come and watch quality bowling like Nathan Patterson. So we get a bit of a look at the Triples. Alan Hurst putting in a nice bowl there.
6 the difference in the Triples, and the Pirates hold 2. Little sniff. Not like Mark Haynes to throw a lead.
He's doing the zone to have heard that one. He's just not quite comfortable enough. Otherwise, I would have thought he'd nearly be over here putting the microphone on. Krebex just putting one in behind.
That's pretty fair from Stewie.
Stewie Forbes, the man with one of the great bridesmaids resumes in state events.
Getting saved again, mate.
Stewie Forbes, one of the great guys. Unfortunately, if you ever get a chance, chat to him about his record in state events. He's got as many second-place medals as anyone could have hoped for. So fingers crossed, he'll be hoping that the Super League will be his chance to break through and get his hands on that massive, shiny trophy. Of course, it will be the Central Chargers taking on the Hyson Comets next week. Do not miss that one, folks. If you can't get here to Salisbury, make sure you're in a nice quiet spot or you've got a nice Sunday afternoon on the couch. Set us up on your phone, iPad, Chromecast us to the plasma TV. Set us up in the home cinema, whatever you have to do.
Get the projector out on the back deck.
Yep, exactly. Get the barbecue on, have the mates around. There's going to be a show, folks. It is one you don't want to miss.
Probably just above Super Bowl Sunday on the Sunday events for the year. What a shot, Peto.
Nathan Patterson, great bowl there. Super League Sunday, that's a good call. See some good laughter in the Triples game. Really good to see it being played in good spirit, which the SA Super League always is, and that's something that we absolutely love to see. Bit of Spice Girls in the background.
Big Spice Girls fan. Microphones might have picked up Jose there, I'm not sure. Rudy just be looking for another little toucher here, get it around the corner.
Not a bad home there.
Do you think we can get Nathan to try and pop the jack again for the last end back towards the clubhouse?
Mate, all you can do is put in the request when he steps up to the mat. It'll be great entertainment to watch. John Nicolai is definitely corrected on his line here.
Might have to ask Rach.
Oh, with bowling like this. Nathan might not get the opportunity. Oh, that jack's just squirted out a little bit. Nathan thinks they still hold one. Those heavy jacks on the carpet, like we've said. Incredibly unpredictable. Wayne Rudiger. His final bowl of the 17th end. Oh, he's not going to be too far away if he can sit on his previous bowl.
Zoom him in a bit.
John Nicolai. Can he draw something in here?
Good area, isn't he?
Oh, I tell you what, Chopper. John Nicolai. Oh,
Please.
if that doesn't sum up the afternoon for the Pirates, I don't know what does.
Oh.
So close, but yet so far. Oh, look at the gap this thing squeezes through.
You couldn't do it if you tried.
Rudiger going wide there, so we'll just see which way this one falls. I think Nathan might have conceded this one. It's going to be one to the Pirates, I reckon. I think he's just picked up the jack and conceded it. So it will be one to the Pirates there. They move along to 12. The Chargers 26. Both teams just trying to figure out who's got any super ends left just to make sure everything gets played. So the Pirates are playing a super end. Here we go. Rachel Krebex. Can she... yeah, got to keep the jack on first. That is always a challenge coming back this way. Wouldn't it be a show?
Body language says not sure.
Body language says very concerned, but she's got no reason to be. Right now, surely for a bit of fun, Rachel
Surely she's
Krebex,
going to put it in.
just to get one back on Nathan Patterson. A bit of aggression here.
Bit of revenge.
Don't worry, we've got plenty of cameras ready, Rach. Rachel Krebex is going to have a go. Can she pot the jack first bowl here? Oh, not quite.
Right, good speed, though.
We'll give that a round of applause. Great effort from Rachel Krebex. Give me the spectators what they want. It's all good fun.
Boo.
Geez, a very conservative bowl from Nathan, considering they hold a 14-shot lead.
Indeed, just preventing any further runs at the jack, I think. It's Rach going again.
Oh, she's having another crack.
Persistence can be key in our sport.
And hey, she's had a crack twice, so she might as well go the third one. See where Nathan ends up here. It's on a pretty good track. He's just going to tuck another one on that centre line, it looks like.
Yeah,
Oh, he's going to make it very hard.
Rach, the leader here, has had a taste of the upshot. She doesn't want to return to the leader's life. She said, what, you just want me to draw?
Or can she get around those bowls of Patterson? Oh, just needed to hold its line there. Not quite, unfortunately. But she's got a big smile on her face, and that's what we love to see. Over to Nathan Patterson now. Great, the teammates can have a laugh. Not a bad shot from Nathan there. So just down to the skippers to finish us off. The triples have finished. Comfortable into the Chargers there, so we'll just get this one done, folks. It's going to be the Chargers and the Comets. Mate, how do you think you guys match up against the Chargers? We've spoken about how dangerous they can be, but what do you think you guys have done well to get you to this point?
We've had a bit of consistency over our last few rounds. We've got a bit more settled in our team structure. So obviously, having not this full squad together last season, we've had to sort of play around with things a bit. So we've managed to get a bit of consistency the last few rounds, and obviously, like we said, on paper, the Chargers look good everywhere. So Timmy's very steady in the singles, very good lawn bowler. And in the pairs and triples, we're just going to have to try and do our thing, I guess. Get a few bowls around it, and we've got quality at our back end as well. So see how we go.
That's it. It's going to be a very interesting week, folks. One last thank you to all our sponsors, West End, Sports Centre, MGA, and the City of Salisbury. All big supporters of the SA Super League, and we could not do what we do without them. So we see one bowl left for each skipper here. Looks like the Chargers holding a couple to finish it off. They hold the 3.
Does he get around him?
Oh, John Nicolai, he might slide past all of them. Oh, no, they probably hold 2 here. Wayne Rudiger to finish it off for the Central Chargers. They're on their way to another grand final, folks. He's going to have a look at it as the skippers shake hands there. We'll just wait and see what this number is for the score. Of course, they're not going to give us a number. We'll say that was 2 to the Chargers, I reckon, to finish us off there. Chop, wrap that one up, mate. Chargers just too good.
Chargers just too good across the board in the end, I think. Quality side. Well done to the Pirates on their season. Competitive all year. Minor premiers. Came out today and put in 2 good efforts, so they should be proud of their season. But good luck to the Chargers next week. Not too much good luck, but we'll see you all next Sunday. Good
luck to you too, mate. We'll take a quick break, folks, and we'll come back with a post-match interview.
Thanks, mate.
Welcome back to the SA Super League, folks. We've just seen the Central Chargers put together a clinical display in the prelim final, knocking off the Mallee Pirates to move into a grand final. I've got Nathan Patterson here. Mate, pretty convincing in the end. You guys just put it together when it counted.
Yeah, look, it's not the easiest rink to play on, but just try to get him close. And when you got Wayne Rudiger skipping, you just sort of got to get out of the way of his shots all day. And yeah, lucky to get the win.
Tell me what it's like to play with Rudy. Obviously, you guys have played a fair bit together. You know each other's games. What is it that you enjoy about playing with him, besides him getting it pretty close to the jack fairly often?
Yeah, look, he's probably the most consistent player I've ever seen play the game. But he did ask me a couple of years ago, really wanted to play with me, and it took me a few months to make the decision. But when I did, I said to him, "You can play with me, mate."
Great banter there. I'd love to hear Rudy's response. At a grand final, mate, next week, the Heisen Comets. What do they present as an opposition, and how do you guys feel going in?
Yeah, what was the team again? I'm not even sure.
The Heisen Comets, so you're looking at a Matthew Northcott, James Gregory, those sorts of guys. Yeah. They'll be pretty tough.
I'll be surprised to see James Gregory out there. I think he got COVID, but other than that, we'll just go out there and play. You win, you win. You lose, you lose. It is what it is.
That's it. Simple attitude. Thanks for joining me, mate. Best of luck next week.
Thank you.
Guys, join us from 10 o'clock next week. We'll have the Junior Grand Final, Reserve Grand Final and the League Grand Final. It's going to be a massive week of build-up and a huge day of bowls. Do not miss this one. Thank you and good night.